So sometimes people give you books, but have you ever had anyone give you a Bible? Have you anyone ever tell you that this was something special? Long time ago, one of my aunts on my father's side of the family gave me the book, and I wasn't ready for it. It's very emotional when you think about it. To admit that you weren't ready for it at your time in your life, it just seemed to be so prestigious. That Bible was kind of like getting the keys to a new car and you told you can drive it. Just don't have any accidents and don't be cute. Just be smart. And sometimes you ain't ready for it. And this is not a preachy video. This is not a video to convert you or to do anything. It's just an honest, the truth be told, I had gotten a Bible and I wasn't ready for it. And it was like at that time in my life, I was a teen, I wasn't ready for it. Sometimes you think back about certain things that happened in your life and you kind of reminisce about where were you, what was your state of mind, what was your being, you know. I like to say I was an angry teenage black boy at the time. Um, a lot of frustration, dealing with a lot of things going on in home life, etc., etc. And my reflections at that time did not allow spiritual unity to enter, not in that level, not at that level. No, I've been exposed to churches, I've been to different groups of Bible studies, etc., etc. But I was all about music and, just chasing girls and having a good time. No drinking, no smoking. But I was into other things that is typical for your age at that time. But my mindset wasn't as focused to understand it. And I'm going to tell you something. You don't have to read the Bible to be focused on the Bible, but you have to have a certain type of a mental aesthetic to respect it, to give of your soul to understand what it means in the bigger picture. And I wasn't at that stage in my life. And sometimes it's hard to admit that you're vulnerable to not being vulnerable to that because that's some big question marks about what you're going to do, where you want to be, how you want it to go, how you want it to flow. And so I don't know if too many people could have been ready for it at that stage. I remember being in that stage of mind like a year or so later, Jehovah's Witnesses would come and knock, and I was listening to the Watchtower, and I was with my grandmother, and we would listen. And then you had different people that were into different religious sets try to talk to you. Sometimes it goes in one ear out the other because you'd much rather be watching MTV or BET Video Vibrations or something. You want to be entertained. You really didn't, in some cases, didn't want to hear that because you'd rather be a pop star and be big and go through all that. And it's kind of funny because when you look at life in that bubble, you think everybody's got it going on, but then you see people years later, things ain't always what they appear to be, and things ain't always cracking. So, but it's not to tell nobody what they should or shouldn't do. Let me emphasize the video. It's not about it. It was just how an experience at the time I had got presented with probably the ultimate book I'd ever gotten, and I wasn't ready for it. My mindset wasn't on it at the time. And it's a powerful thing when sometimes you got to tell someone that you're not quite ready for that. Telling something no, because that was like so heavy that it just brought out so much reaction in the soul. And has that ever happened to you that something that you weren't ready for, that it just got to you to a point that it just shook you up and you couldn't even explain it? But then years later, you knew why, because you weren't in a space of mind and the frame of time to handle what it was all in detail. So I think that is something that we all got. I'd be curious as to comments if people do comment. Did they have it? Was it a Bible or was it a person? Was it something that they got that they said I wasn't that was too big for me to experience to handle because it really shook me up, especially at a young age of what you're going through. But I look forward to hearing comments on this, and I think it could be very interesting and very cathartic and healthy to see what people have to say about this because it's one of those things that definitely is something that we've all experienced in some form of capacity where we weren't ready for something, but it was best bestowed to us. Someone gives it to us, and we don't know why they picked us, were we ready or not, and we have to jump in one way or the other. Please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another shitter if you like. Hit that membership because when you do the videos you request, I bring them back to you. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay true, stay woke, stay free, and don't be afraid You got to know where you got to go from where you've been. I'm out.